everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Black Tower Podcast, a Wheel of Time podcast. I am your Bajan Mahale, allegedly Andrew.
Allegedly Andrew.
I am your JordanCon Mahale, confirmed Daniel.
Confirmed.
Hearsay.
Objection.
I was
Heresy.
waiting for that. My name is Josh.
Acceptable.
Did
As of this moment.
Did I read that correctly?
I read that correctly?
Did I read that correctly?
Did you read that?
Did I read that correctly?
Have
So
charges
you
against
continue
you.
to read them correctly.
Have charges against you being Josh been filed?
And I am Josh, and the jury's still out on whether or not I am the Sorovan male.
Mail from Georgia takes a while to get everywhere else, so we don't know if we have pending charges yet.
That's
Right.
fair. I'm sure I'll get them in the mail.
I'm sure.
U.S. Marshals will knock on the door and be like, "Hey,
Oh, that's them now.
Sorry, guys, I gotta go.
see you later." Sorry.
Oh,
Oh
man.
man.
But yeah. So yes, for those of you listening live, this is about 40 minutes earlier than our normal recording time because at 8:30 Eastern we will be over on the Twootcast doing
Twotecast
this,
with
doing
a bunch of
live stream
twotes.
with them, recapping JordanCon, but we're still going to take and do a bit of a BTP only specific, whatever you want to call it, style recap. So for the most part, it should be pretty safe from spoilers. And if we think of something else to talk about, we'll switch over and talk about something else small, short, and disappointing or exciting. Depends on what you like. So
I've been told that before.
but if damn. But make sure you head on over to blacktowerpod.com to check out all of our stuff. If you're listening to this on YouTube or your podcasting at wherever you get your podcast, and you're not in our Discord, there's a Discord invite there. There's also Patreon where you can listen live when we record, and you get first knowledge generally of when we're going to be doing something special or extra or different, or just not doing anything, I suppose. But
Now, which doesn't actually happen very often, but we do still reserve the right.
unfortunately, having three people on the show makes it very hard to make a valid excuse to just not do anything that week for us.
Correct.
But you can head over there to get all of your stuff, Black Tower Podcast. And here relatively soon, I'm going to say within the next week from the time of recording, week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, just depends on time and work. You'll be able to go to the website and also see a ton of pictures and stuff from JordanCon.
Facts.
And we're going to edit it into a slideshow that just plays, I will remember you. Like everyone who always does a slideshow after a con plays over their slideshow of the con.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's true.
But something pretty cool that happened at JordanCon this year, the fantastic Rob from Wiki Will News brought merch that people ordered from New Creations by Jen to JordanCon and hand delivered them. I got myself some sweet Ashaman socks and an Ashaman shufa or neck gaiter or veil or mask that's not really a mask because it doesn't really stop shit, but it looks dope as fuck. However you want to call it. I got them hand delivered at JordanCon from Rob. So if you want something hand delivered to you, we're not saying they're going to do it, but if you want the chance for it, definitely make sure you check out New Creations by Jen for next year's JordanCon. And if you can't wait,
possibly
check it out
this
right
year's
now.
WadCon.
Possibly this year's WadCon.
Depending.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't see the Ashaman socks. Do they have one of the symbols on each sock, or is it each sock has one symbol on each side?
It's just like the Net Gator,
Yeah.
except as socks.
So it's both symbols on either side.
It's both symbols all over the socks.
Nice.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a pattern.
It's a pattern.
A pattern.
Who comes with the wine?
Oh my
has
gosh.
linked the socks listing. So that's the Golden Crane. As
I
the
could get
display
heron
picture.
marked socks. I could be a footmaster.
Pretty sure that's the Golden Crane, but you do.
I don't want that, Daniel. No.
I don't want that either.
Oh. Land wearing the socks. I walk a lonely road.
No.
The only Malkier I have ever known.
Oh my God, you guys.
Don't know
are
where
just
it went,
the
but I
worst.
fight the shadow and I fight alone.
This-
God.
Okay, everybody, you guys got to realize our brains are completely and totally
Soup.
fried.
It
Soup.
implies my brain is ever like completely
Brain
together.
soup. Brains. No. He
Oh
who comes with
no.
wine. You're grounded.
I mean, I will admit this is one of the reasons that I kind of wanted to do like a little bit of a BTP only thing, because I can only imagine what this recap is going to be like in like 50 minutes when we hop on with the other guys, and there are six
Speaking
of
of
us
that-
with brain soup going.
That's going to chafe my willy. Oh God.
Locksmith!
Daddy need this.
Locksmith!
Daddy need this.
Oh, I gotta go get a. I don't have any soda to mix with my Sailor Jerry, so actually, I don't have any Sailor Jerry either. It's Captain Morgan. I'm just a fucking mess, so I gotta go get a twisted tea.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
twisted.
no.
That's very
To be
twisted.
fair,
No.
y'all have had less than 24 hours to get back on track. So
Though I do still have just a tiny little bit of my strawberry margarita stuff that I got at the Target while we were there. And this
Right.
stuff is actually really fucking good.
you poured the last half of that bottle fucking Sunday before I left.
Oh, I
can't
am
taste
fully aware.
It can't.
And
taste
I actually only drank like half of it because we kept on. I got pulled in like 8 directions on Sunday, and multiple of those directions were at places with drinks, and I felt really weird, like bringing my bottle and then drinking out of it when they were like, "What would you like to drink at this place that has drinks?" And so I was like, "I'll just order a drink here," and then I'd order a drink at the next one, and
Refill
then,
my cup.
right. And then I got back to the hotel and I was like, I still have like more than half this bottle. Jesus. And was also still mildly drunk. Like it wasn't even bad.
Oh shit.
And then I went to the airport, and in my train ride there, I was like, I really should drink some more of this. Otherwise, I'm going to have to just dump it out when I get to TSA. And so I drank what I figured was more than, what is it, like 100 grams left?
Mhm.
Or whatever it is how much you can hold. And so I was like, I hope this is less than that, because I'm not drinking anymore right now. And if they make me dump it out, I'll dump it out. But they didn't, so I must have gotten it correct.
Oh, Josh, what became of my then unopened bottle of Glenfiddich?
Oh, yeah. Did you drink it, or did you leave it?
No, McCrae drank like half of it, and it
Okay.
kind of got left because I couldn't really
Yeah.
Well,
take
at
it with
least
me.
it didn't completely go to waste.
No.
If I had
No.
known that there was some left and it was going to get left, I might have just slammed that shit. Because, like, strawberry margarita
with the strawberry margarita mix.
I was going to say, strawberry margarita is not bad. But,
I would have been very upset.
yeah, no, I would never have
Oh.
actually done that. I would have Josh and I just would have, I would have woken up earlier, gone up to Josh's. Actually, I probably wouldn't have done any of this for a reason. But there is not a 0% chance that I would have gotten up earlier, going up to Josh's room, and we would have just sat there like rocks glassing. And by rocks
Oh, yeah.
glassing, I mean those
Oh, yeah.
cups that they give you in the hotel. The Glen.
Hotel ice, hotel plastic cups, and a very fine Glenfiddich.
12 year.
But no, I'm glad that, at least some of it got drunk as well.
For those of you
I will say, if you
that
guys
come to
take a look
WatCon or
behind me-
JordanCon next year.
Oh. If you guys take a look behind me, for those of you listening in, you can't see, obviously. So you need to go to our YouTube and you need to subscribe to our YouTube so that you can see this. I have updated my lanyard with all my ribbons, and oh my God.
Yep.
The ribbons were out of control this year, and
Dude.
I love every second of it.
Dude,
Every
there was
time I
that
thought I
kid
finally got a
walking
ribbon
around.
that Josh didn't, the motherfucker popped up with that ribbon and 13 fucking more.
Yeah, I think Josh won Ribbon Gate this year. I was definitely second, and then Andrew was a close third to me, but I'm pretty sure that Josh had like
Check this out, though.
at least what?
I don't think I was even a close third to you.
Really? Okay.
Year 1, year 2.
No, see, because you have all those ones on the sides.
Oh,
I didn't put any on the sides.
No, I know you don't, but Andrew
did.
does, dummy.
No, but
Look at his
Daniel,
video.
I didn't put any of them on
Hey,
the
Josh.
sides.
Hey, Josh. Hey, Josh.
Daniel.
Do me a favor.
So y'all went for length. I went for girth.
Yeah.
I learned from Patrick. Not so Patrick at JordanCon.
Yeah, Patrick was a star.
Well, that's actually I liked length with caveat. And that is that you roll it up and then you put 2 clothespins on either side. I didn't have clothespins. That was a Rob thing. Malkier Talks found the clothespins. But I really liked that system because it meant that you just always had a badge that was like this big. And then it didn't matter what you added to it because you always had one that was this big. But then when you were like, oh, I need to put a new ribbon on, and you undid them, everybody was like, holy shit, dude. And that's the holy shit, dude, is the absolute best thing to hear when you unveil something at JordanCon.
Yeah. So I got 26 ribbons this year compared to the 7 of last year.
Yeah.
So
I'm still in my
more
bag.
than triple,
I'm not getting it
almost
out.
quadruple the number of ribbons I got.
Yeah, there you
It
go.
would have been quadruple.
Nice.
So, but in sharp contrast, I gave out, I think I was allowed to give out maybe 85 of mine.
You actually, I think, gave out the majority of both because Josh was so concentrated on
like
the
15.
hot sauces, which is I feel like this was actually a great system, by the way. Before I say anything else, it was, Josh's ribbon and Andrew's ribbon and whatnot just turned into Josh does the hot sauce, Andrew does the ribbon. And it was actually a pretty good system.
It worked out pretty well. And then there were a number of people that were like, oh man, I can't do hot sauce. I can't have that ribbon. And I would be like, that's okay. You can walk away with a cleansed taint. And then we gave them the cleansed taint. So it worked out well.
Well, and I think that honestly, next year we are going to have to do like at least twice as many ribbons, if not 3 times, because on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday morning, I had multiple people and like not just, like 5 people, like it was at least 20 people on Friday and Saturday come up to me and be like, hey, do you guys still have like the hot sauce and the ribbons? And I was like, we're completely out. Like,
it'll be fine because next year the ribbons were fantastic. Josh, you did a fantastic job.
yes.
But next year we'll do them where they have the BTP logo on them, and we'll make JordanCon one word.
Yeah, that was my
only one person pointed it out to me, and I was like, oh yeah, we know. Typos are kind of our thing.
I mean,
you know what? There's a couple.
Would
other
it be
ones that have
us
typos
if it wasn't?
Oh,
So we're
I
not
don't
alone.
think I got those. I think I rejected those ribbons. Like, yeah, I would take it, but it's got a typo. Sorry.
Do you want to know what my
No.
favorite, like one of my favorite moments was?
Absolutely.
And I learned this later. Remember when we went to the
Remembering
Lazy
meeting
Dog with
Maria?
the gigantic group of people?
No, I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there? Dang.
But continue. I would still like to hear why it's your favorite part and all of that stuff.
We went there and Critter was there and the Grey Aja Sitter was there and there's just so many people were there. And then it was like me and Andrew and McCrae. Oh, that's why I thought it was you, because there was a third dude there. Anyway.
Just tall blonde dude.
And then one of the other
the poison
ladies had her
checker.
yeah, the poison checker man. And then one of the other ladies had like her brother and her boyfriend there. So it was like 4 dudes and like 20 ladies. And apparently that was a club. It was a women's circle business thing that we kind of crashed.
Oh, was it really?
Well,
I didn't know.
that makes me feel
just
better.
I didn't know either. I didn't know either. And I talked to
That
them,
makes
I was
me
like,
feel
oh my
better
God.
because apparently I wasn't all up in women's circle business and they're not going to give me shit about it for the next 20 years.
And I
I didn't
did say
know.
I'm
Josh was
surprised
just like,
that
"Hey,
we,
we're going to Lazy Dog. Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Sure."
Well, that's what I was told.
Am I
was
really
like-
quiet or something?
I was invited by a lady.
Am I
as
really
well.
quiet?
I don't think so. Why?
Okay, just making sure.
I mean, not on Zoom at least, which is where we get our.
Yeah, no, nobody said anything. I was just making sure.
My comment was, I'm surprised we got out of there without getting thumped.
I mean, wait, you guys didn't get thumped? Fuck.
Not once.
We made good recommendations.
Nice.
Yes.
You go to Lazy Dog, get the smoked maple bacon old fashioned.
Oh my God.
I heard about that for days after
Oh,
you guys went.
Yeah. It comes with a
I
strip
have
of like nice
dreams.
candy maple bacon. Eat
Oh.
half of the bacon so you get just the bacon. Taste the old fashioned so you get the old fashioned. Then you put the remaining half of the bacon in the old fashioned, swirl it around, and it changes the flavor again. It was really good.
So when my family went last year to Universal, we had dinner at a sushi place that was down there. It was like sushi and burgers. It was actually quite nice. But they had a like candied maple bacon old fashioned, and I got one. And my dad was like, "What the fuck is that?"
There it is.
Jessica coming
clutch.
clutch.
Yeah.
Oh no, she caught my ghost arm.
That sounds dirty.
I do love that this is now.
A little
I've been to 2
hand.
JordanCons, and both times I have been memed. So
Oh yeah, bruh.
Zoom right in on his face.
yeah. The funniest part was the zoom in was done by somebody.
When
not
she
even-
invites you into the igloo.
And then I got like
Can't see it,
I
but
got
I'm doing my invites you into the igloo face.
Yeah. And then of
You
course,
will
like,
be able to
Critter's like-
see it if you get onto our YouTube. But
And then of course Critter's like, I need a blank, still memeable copy of that picture, and I'm like,
yep,
should I be concerned?
no, you shouldn't. You should be very proud. You
Well,
are
should
quite
be concerned,
memeable.
but you should still absolutely provide her with the template.
Oh, I
Yes,
did.
sure, that one. Yeah,
I did. Apparently, I am very memeable. It's because I like to do like weird faces when people take pictures,
Yes.
and I don't know why. I just do it.
yep.
It's even funnier.
No, we
in
like
crowds when
it.
somebody like just zooms in through the crowd, and they're just like, everybody else is smiling or just talking, and he looks like he's staring into your soul. What the fuck is going on here? So, it's on Instagram. Yeah, if you haven't found it yet, it's also on Twitter. More Shoddy was kind enough to meme some of them it a couple times for us. Just fantastic. Thank you again, fact checker Mahale. I almost said Morehale.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Fact checker more hail.
What's worse than regular hell? More hell.
That's true.
I don't know.
that is
Actually,
a
the-
fact.
The higher the level in hell you are, that's where it's worse. Especially because he rises.
Yeah. So it's worse if there is more hell below you.
I don't think
What if
that's
it
how
was
that works, but I appreciate your
Heaven
work.
beside you and hell within.
We're all staring at Josh with disappointment for those of you listening.
And now he's doing
And I got a
eyebrows
shit-eating
because
grin on
he
my
absolutely he lives off of that.
It's true. Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer.
Let's see. Daniel, did you have a favorite moment from JordanCon?
Oh man, there were a lot. I mean, the karaoke on Friday was super fun. Dancing on Saturday was super fun. We randomly played a game of Love Letter out in the smoking pit after dancing on Saturday. I don't know that actually, you know what? I think one of my favorite parts was very early on in the con. And it was
when I arrived on Wednesday. On time.
Actually,
on time.
Sort of. I mean, that was nice. But it was last year at JordanCon when it was the small one on the very last day of the con. So I think Sunday before everybody went home.
The day you got there.
We went out to the last tap with a group of people.
Oh yeah.
And enjoyed ourselves immensely. It was a really fun get together, and it just kind of happened super organically. This year, that nearly exact same thing happened, but with everybody who was there on Wednesday.
Yep.
Yeah, with everybody who had gotten there on Wednesday. So it was like we've bookended JordanCon now with just the early getters and the late leavers. Like
that's a good,
like multiple times. And so I really appreciated the people who came out with us, and just again the fact that it happened super organically. I think the things that just happen with very little planning by good people is really fun. It was super, it was great.
Daniel and I were there. Iris Bear was there. Gray Aja Sitter was there. Wolf Brother 7 was there. And
Joe Flamingo.
Yeah, Joe Flamingo was there.
And then there was one more person. Fuck.
I have the picture. Let me look.
Good.
I thought that was it. But I am notorious for not remembering.
Oh wait, no, it was 6.
No, that was it.
Oh, yeah, it was 6 because there were 8 seats and 2 of them weren't taken. Yeah, okay, cool. So we do remember.
This is a really good time to like be happy that I don't have nudes in my camera roll. Y'all will see that on YouTube.
It was also
or you
really
can go
fun,
over to Instagram and find it already.
Right, and very nice because Iris Bear actually made a number. Well, Iris Bear's warder actually made a number of 3D printed Aes Sedai rings. Yes. And they ran out fairly quickly throughout the con. So Andrew and I actually got it like the first night with the other people that we were out with. Josh snagged one, I want to say just like early on the next day. And then like fairly quickly into the con, those were all just totally gone. So yeah, I felt very lucky to have gotten one of those because they were super cool and very well made. And then of course the just the good times and the people who were there were also very nice. So yeah.
Any standout moments for you, Andrew?
Mr. Andrew?
Notice I say standout. Like favorite is like so difficult to pin down. There was so amazing.
I mean, not really,
standout
but like sometimes you can't come up with what that is. Like you'll a week later you're like, oh no, I definitely know what it was, but like
yeah. I know one of them, as I'm trying to copy stuff to not to motherfucker, but
all right, cool.
No, one of the like it was kind of like a funny, hilarious, like haha moment. So I don't think you guys knew because I'm terrible at communication. Because who needs to communicate?
Yeah, right.
But Joe from podcast and
Andrew, we don't do that here.
Yeah. Joe and I from the podcast had spoken a while back, and we just got on the topic of like panels and stuff like that. And he asked if we were on any, and I said no. and he invited me to join them potentially for theirs because he knew Maria was going to have to step away for a toast. So my time on the Twiltcast panel consisted of Maria leaving for the toast, another guy that's been a friend of theirs or around their podcast, their show for a while, stealing the seat for like 2 minutes, leaving, them calling me up there. So at least in the panel, Black Tower Podcast was mentioned, and me coming in, sitting down, saying hi, making a joke because it was always hot for me there. And there was no room to escape the heat from because by Sunday the room was 78 fucking degrees. But
those of us who were still there Sunday night are very aware, Andrew. We had to sleep in them.
Oh yeah. But I made a joke about I'm not normally this hot and sweaty until Twiltcast is finished. I got to watch somebody throw a Jello shot to Matt Hatch, and he looked to his left at Tom from Twiltcast, and then looked to his right to me and just handed me the Jello shot. So Matt Hatch gave me a Jello shot at JordanCon.
Nice.
So, and I got to keep Maria's seat warm for about 7 seconds. So
does that mean you're getting married to Matt Hatch then?
Ooh.
We'll see.
I think that's what that means. I think by a number of
modern day
customs. I was gonna say by a number of Watt customs, I think Jello shot counts as a proposal. Did you give Matt anything during the con?
Not this year. I did last year. So maybe
is
this his response to us?
Oh, this is his response. Oh shit!
Was that a marriage proposal accepted?
Yep, marriage proposal accepted. You're getting married
Confirmed.
to Matt.
Nice.
We're going to be changing the title of the Dusty Wheel to the Dusty Tower.
No.
We're registered at Ruidion. You can bring us things.
Registered at Ruidion.
Oh,
just go grab
innkeeper's wife is part of this. Come on.
There.
Yeah.
Is he going to be the Ashaman keeper then? If it's the Dusty
really
Tower.
It's just whenever Taylor has things to do with his wife, Matt knows that I work in IT and that I would love to move to Utah. And so he's like, okay. And technically it doesn't count as employment if you're spouses. So
yeah, exactly. See? See?
But no, so that was fun. We say it every year, and a ton of us said it at JordanCon and everything. Honestly, meeting the people was some of the most fun. People that we met last year, it was great to see those again. People that we hadn't met in person yet. People that are fans of the show, patrons
of which there were an abundance.
Yeah. Well, especially because this year was so much bigger in the best way. Last year was actually a really nice year to come into as a JordanCon virgin. Because there weren't as many people for it to be overwhelming. But when I came down we went somewhere on Friday. Was it Friday? And then we came back and all of a sudden the entire place was just full of people wearing badges. And I was like, I'm an extrovert. I like meeting new people. I like being around other human beings. It's where I get my energy from. Also, holy shit, this is a little overwhelming.
That's the real secret reason that we brought both of you on to the podcast, because I have a limited social battery for large groups, and especially large, loud groups, unless I've been drinking, and then it's a little bit easier and better. So where so many people are like, I was barely ever in my room. I think I just read it. Oh yeah, Iris Bear just said, that they were barely in their room. I spent 90% of Saturday in the room. I went to sleep at 4:00 in the morning, woke up at 2, put on the Viking inspired Ashaman cosplay, came down, we recorded 40 minutes. Then that's when we went to, no, that wasn't when we went to Lazy Dog. That's when we went to Battle and Brew.
Yes.
And then came back, and I looked at Daniel. I was like, there's a 98% chance I will come back downstairs. And then 30 minutes into relaxing, I had someone call me, and
that might have been my favorite. But one of my favorite moments is we went back up to the room after going out, put stuff away, and then Andrew looks at me and goes, "All right, I'm not going to come down with you yet. There's like a 98% chance I go downstairs in a little bit, but I need to just recharge a little." And I went over to the bathroom to use it, came out, and he was all out of his cosplay and laying in bed. And I was like, cool. So there's like a 5% chance you're going to join us downstairs.
But I didn't lie. I did come downstairs that night.
Yep. And then he got a phone call, and later he did stop downstairs, say hi to people. And in fact, the person that he was talking to on the phone, he wanted a number of us to meet because we hadn't met them yet. And so we got a chance to say hi, had nice little conversations. And then he was like, cool, this is enough, and went back upstairs.
Yeah. Well, I was summoned back upstairs.
Yes.
You know, it was interesting for me. Like, okay, so I got there Wednesday night at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
I popped into my room. I crashed. There was nothing really happening Wednesday night. Thursday, however, the messages started popping up. Hey, I'm here. Who's here? Hey, I'm here. Who's here? And it was Thursday afternoon when I got a message from Leah, the roof mistress, and she said, "Me and Malcarry Rob are down here at the bar. We can't find anybody. Like, what the hell?" And I was like, "I'm on my way right now." Like, boom, I'm done. I signed out of work. I was like, "Nope, I'm done. Not doing this. Nope, couldn't do it." I worked a half day. It was great. It was the best decision I ever made.
Thursday
ran
night was
downstairs, started partying with everybody, and then people started showing up. You start talking, and it started with, hey, I have hot sauce and ribbons for tomorrow. So tomorrow, when the con starts, I'm going to start passing out ribbons. And then people were like, "Well, I want to try the taint now."
Yeah.
Well, I want to try the taint now. Well, I want to try the taint now. I want to try.
I want your taint in my mouth as soon as humanly possible, Josh.
Right. Apparently, I have a desirable taint.
So
I took a couple people up to my room and was like, "Here, we'll just go ahead and do it." And then I
just brought them up to your room to taint them.
Brought them up to my room, put my taint in their mouth.
Yep.
They loved it. And then as the demand grew, I was like, you know what? Let's fucking kick this shit off. So we stood down in the lobby, passed out doses of taint and passed out ribbons, started drinking. And it was like the con hadn't even started. I was 3 sheets to the wind, pouring hot sauce on Triscuits for everybody. Right then and there, I should have known just how much more this year was going to be.
Yeah. Well, Thursday
because
night was funny.
Oh,
yeah. Thursday night was funny because that was the earliest I went to bed. I was, I say went to bed loosely. For reasons that we will not discuss. I found myself back in the room at 11:30 by myself. Calm down, all you nasties. And then proceeded to sleep in a tub of cold water for 2 hours.
Oh my God, yes.
And then I woke up, was still fairly fucked up. Like low crawled the slowest way possible over the bed as to not crush the side of the tub to not crush the gonads. Slept on the bathroom floor for 2 hours, got up and peeked around the corner to see if Daniel was in the room and asleep.
During this 4 hours, I have now come into the room. Been like, oh, Andrew's like taking a shower or something. And then hear snores and go, wait, what? What the fuck is happening right now? Knock on the door and go, "You all right there, buddy?" And just get and was like, you know what? As long as he's not drowned yet, I'm sure he'll be okay.
You didn't hear bubbles, so
I didn't. And then so I like was like, all right, cool. So I go over, I get ready for bed with everything that doesn't involve the bathroom, and then go to lay in bed. And I think I don't know what, because you must have been out of the bath already at that point. But sleeping on the floor, because you like came out like 20 minutes after I got ready. Like I was in bed and I had only been in bed for like 20 minutes.
that would have been useful.
And that's when this happened, and it's glorious.
Because I did this thing where like, so like I'm in my underwear, right? And I do this thing where like I peek out, see Daniel there, and I like jerk back because I'm like, oh, he's here. And then I peek out again to see if he's moved, and he hasn't. And so I'm like, oh, he's asleep. And I did that like 3 or 4 times. And then I'm like, okay, he's finally asleep. So
All the
I
while,
go to my
I
side.
have rolled over and I'm like aware of what's happening right now because I just went to sleep. But I was also like, what are you doing? Like, what? And so I'm like, he keeps on peeking and I keep on catching him after he's jumped back behind the wall. And I was like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to go to sleep.
Yeah. And so like I go across the room now that I am 100% confident that Daniel is asleep. You then put the pair of boxers that Wet Me had laid on in the bathroom, swap those out for at least dry underwear. And poor Daniel's awake the whole time, and I'm like, I find out the next morning that he was awake the whole time, and I'm like, I apologize.
And
Oh,
it was
good.
the following morning that all 3 of us should have realized how hard JordanCon was going to slap this year. Did any of us know at that moment?
Buddy,
I can say
buddy,
for
buddy,
confidence,
buddy, buddy,
I had
buddy,
no
buddy,
idea.
buddy, 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 buddy,
Buddy.
I was pretty sure JordanCon was gonna slap like a motherfucker Wednesday night. When I heard how many people were coming, and we went out with some of the raddest people, and then I Wednesday night we were all like, "This is gonna be fucking great."
Do you want to know, like, okay, so the biggest thing for me is like towards the end when people were leaving. Okay. Well, first off, just because we like to do numbers here, right? They had sold out, okay, a record number of sales. JordanCon, for the first time in its entirety, sold every last ticket. Okay. 1,200 tickets. That's like the max. And then I think they had something like 950 tickets claimed. 942. There you go, according to the chat, the live chat here. So when you hear of the chaos that ensued, know that it's not even as chaotic. It's not even as crazy as it can get. Well, now, also, I know I spent a vast majority of my time wandering from crowd to crowd, passing out my taint, having a lot of fun, talking to people, meeting the most amazing new people, reconnecting with some of our favorite, people that we met last time, and some of our favorite listeners, Flaming Aes Sedai, throwing that out to you, buddy. It was just, and by the end of it all, when I was flying home, I remember thinking, damn, I haven't gone that hard in 15 years. Like,
that's the last time I accidentally took 2 Viagra. God dang.
Fuck you, Andrew.
Wait. If you take 2 Viagra, does that mean that you don't have to call a medical professional for 8 hours?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, cool.
They extend that to 8 hours.
Wow.
You
So if you do like 3, you could do like a half-day porn shoot.
For all natural male enhancement.
Do
Extend.
not. Jessica Zadai in the live chat says, "Do not take medical advice from the BTP folks."
I'm sorry.
And I gotta
do we
say,
not already have that that loop like that as a loop on the bottom.
I was about to say,
Go
I gotta
along.
say, she's
Yeah.
right, folks. Definitely do not.
But no, yeah, it was so much fun, and it hit me how much fun it was. And even though I slept and relaxed most of Saturday, how tired physically that I still was in the car ride leaving. And my poor Lyft driver, I'm sure, was confident she was going to get a 1-star whatever review, because this poor lady tried so hard to get over into the left or right lane, got blocked from both sides, and bumped one of those cylindrical orange traffic blockers about 20 feet.
Oh no.
And I felt so bad for her because, like, I know, like 3 seconds before I had been in the back seat just snoring. But no, it was so great. I went around a good many of the groups and everything. I did, upon reflection, realize that I did kind of avoid the big groups. Like, I didn't hang around CouchCon too long like I did last year. And I didn't hang around whenever Threefold Talk did their thing. But I'd like to think I was more outgoing this year. And I know there was Land Fear. When she came into the karaoke room that night, this is like the one that stands out to me as like my effort to try to break that nobody knows anybody. They're nervous about meeting people, being introduced. And I tried to do better about introducing the other people around us to the people that I happen to know. So I know in the karaoke room, I asked her, I was like, hey, do you know this person, this person, this person? She was like, no. And I was like, oh, do you want to meet them? And she said, yeah. So I took her over and I introduced her to Chrissy, Sarah's best friend, who was there and fantastically lovely as always. And her significant other, who was a fucking chill ass dude. All right. It was pretty cool. That introduced her to Rob, to North Harbor, because I think North Harbor was there at the time. Just anybody I saw that I knew, tried to introduce her to that. And I saw a lot of people doing that throughout the entire con. So when Twitter of Time last year said, hey, a lot of us felt like we couldn't come in and say hi, or that we didn't know anybody or didn't know how to approach people, it looked like everybody at the con in general, content creator or not alike, made a large effort to try to introduce people and say, hey, come on and talk and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. And theories on the
Good
Twitter
times.
of Chaos because they were there.
Tweeter. Okay. That's a big piece that we need to talk about. The Tweeter of Chaos was there. Okay. So I don't know who they are. None of us knows who they are. So you can ask if you want, but it's a waste of breath. Here's how we know that the Tweeter of Chaos was there. So Matt's dagger on Matt Cawthon, creator of Twitter of Time, the guy who made the Twitter of Time hashtag that everybody has run with and been a part of. He's actually a super cool dude. I got to meet up with him, got to hang out with him. He said it was his first convention.
He's also typing right now.
And his first ever trip to the United States. And it was super awesome, super great. But he got a DM that was like, look, it's us. We're here. But the thing that made it significant was they had his ribbon and they had written the wheel of time on the ribbon. So just so you guys know, again, this is a visual thing. You have to be on the YouTube to see this. But this is the ribbon right here that he gave out.
Yes.
Hashtag Twitter of Time. And then you had to put @ and then your handle. So I have one for the Black Tower podcast and one for the for my personal account, which the tag is actually @DinStarDude. Okay. He received a picture in his DMs with this ribbon that said @ the Wheel of Time. which he shared later on. So people were able to be like, oh my God. But I don't know that people freaked out adequately enough. Like we know you're out there, tweeter of chaos.
I don't know. I feel like
you.
I feel like people actually freaked out exactly adequately because like everyone was excited, but at the same time, if they weren't going to announce themselves, then you don't want to out them. So like let them have their con. But like, yeah, no, it was definitely very, very, very exciting that they were there. We all saw it. Well, not all of us. Sorry. Some people saw it. Some people were told later, all of that different stuff. I have no idea whether I rubbed shoulders with the Tweeter of Chaos. There are moments in the con where I really hope I did. And there are moments in the con where I really hope I didn't.
Yeah. No. No, it was super great. We got our Avi into casting, as everybody knows.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
So,
that was another big moment.
that's why I was able to relax and sleep most of the day Saturday, because my weekend was already made. In fact, my entire rest of existence was already made by Rafe and the Wheel of Time production team and Ayula Smart. So,
All right.
in this typical fashion, like the casting haters started hating, and like we said last time, you can still go fuck yourselves. Because obviously an orgasm is one of the best ways of stress relief, and you obviously need a ton of stress relief if you're that hateful for no fucking good reason. So especially towards Ayula Smart. I'm definitely not biased towards Avienda or anything. Don't go check it. But no, it was just such an incredible time. And Way of the Leaf, you tall motherfuckers. Holy shit. I thought Nate Bliss was tall.
Fuck, dude. I knew
Holy
that
shit.
Brother Dan and Ryan were both tall. And Brother Dan is actually my height, and I'm the tallest one in the Black Tower podcast by like an inch. It's like not a lot. But both of these motherfuckers are also quite tall. But like
Half an
Brother
inch on
Dan
the
is
cold
taller than me. And then Ryan is like 6'7". Like he is a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
And then his wife, Kay Sadai,
one of the sweetest women you'll ever meet.
fantastic.
She's
fantastic.
also like 3.5 feet tall. It's ridiculous. She's so
I think she's taller than that. But
no,
standing next to
like,
Ryan,
she's like 5'2" or something. It's still very small, especially when you put her next to a guy who's 1.5 feet taller than she is.
Oh my god!
And honestly, like that can be said about so many people. I would venture to say that at least everybody I met there, and I didn't hear a bad story or bad interaction. For the most part, there was one slightly but it was more like an awkward situation rather than something wrong. And we got to help that person out, and things worked out for that. But everybody was super nice, super kind, super outgoing, super just friendly and warm, and it really felt like the embodiment of what you would think JordanCon would be. Even though everybody that has been to JordanCon prior to 2019, because a couple of them brought it up, and a couple of them I asked, people like Patrick and Ebony and everybody else. So they talked about how different JordanCon is now from prior to 2018. The sheer fact that there's all the news out, and there are so many people making podcasts and art and music and YouTube shows, live shows, recorded shows, all this kind of stuff about JordanCon, there wasn't as much nearly of that prior to 2018. It really exploded in 2018, 2019, and especially in 2020, because everybody's like, I fucking can't go anywhere, so what do I do? YouTube and podcast, because why the hell not? And definitely do it. Try it out. If you don't like it, you can always stop. But
and we're gonna have to move fucking hotels in a bit here, boys. Like we're already at the cap for what tickets that they can sell at that particular venue. Yeah. And if they get more demand, because again, I mean, like, I want to say there were like 6 people in our Discord at some point or another that were all like, man, I didn't know I could go at the time that tickets were available, but now I know I can, and there aren't any tickets. And I think like 2 of them actually through the ticket exchange were able to find somebody to swap with who knew that they couldn't go at this point. But at the same time, I mean, like that with that many people wanting them on a single channel's Discord that's not even the biggest Discord in Wheel of Time, like there must have been plenty of people who did not get a chance to go ahead and get tickets to JordanCon this year. And if that happens next year, I'm not doubting that we'll be at the Crown Plaza, but it is definitely a possibility that it won't even be at the same place this year.
I think we'll pointed out they do have a contract. So
yes.
I have no idea how long it is. I'm not going to ask either. Because it's really none of my business. But yeah, and we'll see what they do. I know that it has been expressed. I don't know if it's been expressed by the people of JordanCon. Let me say that again. I don't know if it has been expressed by the people that run JordanCon, but I have also heard that they kind of want to keep it on the smaller side, which I don't blame them.
Oh, of course.
Because you do lose out on something when you have something like, I don't know, Comic-Con with 90 to 100,000 people that show up.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're totally right. But
yeah, we'll see. And to the people at JordanCon, and definitely a special call out for Tom DeSimone, you lovely, lovely, amazingly bearded bastard you. Thank you so much for helping at least Daniel and I make sure that we went up and got our media badges. Josh was too busy socializing because he's a social butterfly. He's a social peacock, and you got to let him fly.
I swear, under the light and by my hope of rebirth, I tried.
Did you though? Like, look at his face. Look at that. Look at that face, Andrew. Yeah. Do you believe
I would have had it for you, but you had to have your ID. So
that is true. No, but one of the things that I actually really want to mention really quick this year, because one of the reasons I thought that it went really, really well this year, I don't know if you guys got the actual ribbons or saw them or took them into account, but there were a couple of people running around with extroverted, I'm looking for people to adopt, and introverted, I'm looking to be adopted things. And honestly, I thought that was super fucking brilliant. And I really hope that, like, I don't know if JordanCon can actually have those made. I know that technically takes away an idea from somebody who had them made this year. Or if you were from JordanCon and got them made, awesome. But that was...
This is the ribbon right here, this red one.
Warning. Extroverted. Will adopt you.
Will adopt you. Oh, under my...
Yeah, fuck you with your women's circle business. Get out of here.
Yeah. I wanted to get one of
I thought
each,
that was
so
brilliant.
I could just flip my badge around based off of how I felt.
There you go.
Like if I had high energy, I'd put the extrovert out. But
yes, but no, I honestly, those were fantastic. And I actually sort of ran around getting or actively sort of searching out people who were sort of quietly standing on the edges and without being like, hey, come talk to me, but like
get over
offering them ways to like actually join in on things and do things and whatnot. I thought it was a great idea. Also, it was humorous to me that I think that there were more yellow ribbons, which were the introverted ribbons, than red ribbons. And I thought that was humorous because we were all at a convention and there were like
because of the fear of the Red Ribbon Army. So
yes, well,
but it's okay. Goku dealt with that as a kid.
Excellent.
Oh, Lord.
Wait, okay, you kidnapped this kid with the Dragon Ball? Why didn't you just take off his hat?
Thank you all for being here. We love you so much. We know that this is normally a little bit shorter, a little bit off kilter from our normal. However, we do have to go join the twats for our live stream recap. If you're listening live,
I got really excited for a second. Then I remembered it's just a bunch of dudes.
We also have a Patreon shout out that joined at JordanCon for our new patron. Welcome to the family there. Our newest family member, Loch Ness Ginger. It's the name I love. Absolutely love. So thank you so much for joining the Black Tower. And hopefully you enjoy all that Patreon has to offer. And with that final amount of love dished to the Patreon, we're going to have to go ahead and run from here. If you are listening live, please go ahead and about 10 minutes hop on over, or go over there now and start with the live chat.
Yeah,
But
it's
we'll
on
see you in
YouTube.
about 10 minutes.
Look up the Twatcast on YouTube and
Yes.
get on there right now.
Indeed.
We'll be doing a JordanCon in review thing with the Twatcast folks. Those lovely 3 heinously beautiful but barely less tainty than us. I don't fucking know.
I think they're
those
more
3
tainty than
fucking
us.
guys.
Those
Those
Yeah.
wild and
guys.
crazy guys.
Yeah. But for those of you that are listening to this on your podcast app, on YouTube, wherever you're listening to it, make sure that you go back and watch this episode. It's episode 324 of the Twatcast on YouTube. Will be on there.
They're already on
And check out all of our other stuff.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, they've been around
so blacktowerpod.com.
forever.
Go check out newcreationsbyjen.com. But for all of us here at the Black Tower Podcast, I have been your by Jean Mahale Andrew.
Allegedly.
I have been your Sorovan Mahale Josh.
Jury's
I
still
hope you're
out.
just a bit more mad having received your weekly dose of taint.
And I have been your Amin Khan Mahale Daniel. And from all of us tired people here at the Black Tower Podcast, we would like to wish you a wonderful, beautiful, lovely morning. And in case we don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and a very short good night.
In the tower, you can bring your pain. In the tower, you can feel the strain. You've been having so much trouble just fitting in the tower.